Okay. Thank you so much for sitting down and kind of agreeing to talk to me today. So with your permission, what I think we're going to spend some time talking about is your current drinking habits. Does that sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So tell me a little bit about what your kind of weekly schedule looks like when it comes to your drinking.
Probably 5 or 6 nights a week I have some wine, usually with dinner and after dinner.
Okay, so pretty much almost every day. When you say some wine, can you tell me a bit more about what that means?
I try not to have more than 2 glasses, usually just one, but sometimes I have 3.
Okay.
And then sometimes, especially on Friday or Saturday, I'll have 3.
Okay. It sounds like you do try to kind of self-regulate a little bit in the week.
I do. I try not to overdo it,
Yeah, so it's something that you're already thinking about.
Yes.
Okay. But then you mentioned sometimes, after dinner it might be more than that, 2 or 3.
Sometimes. Occasionally 4.
Okay. So what kind of factors go into what makes it a 1-drink night versus a 4-drink night?
Stress.
Okay.
Usually it's what's going on at work or what's going on with my kids.
Okay. So you notice that as you're more stressed, one of the ways that you can help kind of calm yourself down is a couple extra drinks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or I don't care as much. I just quit caring, so I just drink more.
Tell me more. What does that mean?
Well, if it's a really stressful day and I just feel a physical or mental exhaustion and it's just, sometimes you think, well, it's just not worth it. Who cares if I drink? And so I just drink a little bit more.
Okay. So kind of when your brain gets too tired with the day, where maybe you would put in that little bit of extra effort to do those regulation tools, you kind of decide it's just not worth it today.
And sometimes I'm sad, when that stuff's going on, and so then it's just like, again, it's just not worth it, and so I'm not as careful.
So when you're struggling with other emotions, stress or sadness, that's when it tends to be a couple extra drinks.
Yeah.
When you're, having a normal day, it would be a bit more 1 drink.
Or even none.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you notice on those days where you have more drinks, any sort of changes in how you feel, either during it or the next day?
The next day, usually I don't feel very good. I'm usually more tired, lethargic. A lot of times my stomach hurts. And then I think, oh gosh, I shouldn't have done that. And, I'm usually just so tired.
Okay. All right, so a lot of physical symptoms then.
Yeah.
And maybe a little bit of an emotional, maybe a bit of guilt.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm like, I'm not going to do that anymore.
Okay. So it sounds like you are able to catch yourself the morning after and acknowledge, maybe that you wanted to do something differently in the moment.
Yeah.
But you're catching it kind of the next morning and not before it happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So based on all of that, is there anything about kind of this pattern that you're doing right now with your drinking that you would want to change?
Well, I don't think I should ever have 4 drinks. That's too many drinks. Probably 3 is also. And I think probably drinking more than 3 nights a week is probably too many.
Okay.
Probably shouldn't drink as much as I do.
Okay. So it sounds like a mix of cutting back the number of drinks or having kind of a maximum drink limit on top of cutting back the number of days.
Yeah, I think it's both.
Okay, a mix of the two of them. So the next thing I kind of want to do kind of with that information then is ask you a couple of scaled questions to help us both understand how important this goal is to you and where you are on actual ability to do it, because it doesn't do us much good if we say, okay, cool, you're going to drink 3 days a week, you're going to have 1 drink a day, and then I send you out into the world. We want to make sure that you're prepared with the right tools, so we need to know kind of where you're starting, if that makes sense. So the first question I have is, on a scale of 0 to 10, how important is it for you to make this change?
Maybe a 6 or 7.
What makes you say a 6 or a 7?
I don't feel like it's a huge problem because I'm not having any health issues, and I'm not missing work, and I'm not hungover. Like, even if I don't feel great, I'm not really hungover, and it's not like I'm getting sloshed and acting stupid when I do it. It's over a long period of time, so I might feel a little lightheaded, but I'm not even getting really drunk, and so I don't feel like it's a huge problem. I just know that alcohol is bad for your liver, and I know that over time it kills brain cells. And everyone says, you shouldn't drink that much. And so then I figure, okay, well, I probably ought to take care of my health. I want to be around when my kids are older. I want to be there to help them. So I shouldn't compromise my health. And so I think I should do something about it. But it's not like more than a 6 or 7 because I don't think I'm really having horrible issues with it. It's more like a future health concern kind of a thing.
Yeah. So you're thinking ahead and you're being proactive, but it's not like your life is already kind of falling apart.
Right.
Okay.
Right, for sure.
Yeah. And I did want to ask, you specifically at one point mentioned, that you felt really tired the next day. Is that one of those things that kind of plays into that at all?
Plays into it how?
When you're saying, well, it's kind of important, I want to cut back. I'm not missing work, but...
Well, you mean is being tired sort of making me think I should drink less? Mm-hmm. Sometimes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it is, yeah. I'm tired a lot even when I don't drink, but it's worse when I drink, and I think that makes it a vicious cycle because then when I'm tired, I have less desire to control it, so then I stay more tired. So yeah, I think that plays a role.
Yeah. So it seems kind of like, just based on you saying you're tired even when you don't drink, so sleep is already kind of a touchy subject for you.
I'm not a good sleeper.
Okay. So do you mind if I share a little bit about sleep and alcohol with you? This specifically, because there's a connection there that's interesting. A lot of people say that when they drink a little bit, it's actually easier to fall asleep. Do you feel like
that's true. You relax more and you fall right to sleep.
Yeah.
Sure.
And especially
nice.
Especially for you, if you're already having trouble sleeping, 1 or 2 glasses of wine, you may feel like you go to sleep easier. But the thing that is, interesting about that not as many people would know about is that alcohol and the way that it kind of works and metabolizes in the brain is it actually disrupts the second half of your sleep. So, sometimes people will find that they wake up more or they wake up and can't fall back asleep. But even people who manage to sleep through the night, they'll wake up and they think they slept 8 hours. They still find themselves being more tired. It's actually the quality of sleep that can be affected as well. So, for someone like you who's already, like as you put it, not a great sleeper, even if you're sleeping 8 hours after those couple glasses of wine, there could be, a quality of sleep issue. And I'm wondering, knowing that, does that change maybe how important your drinking pattern? I think it
does, because what I have noticed is that sometimes on those nights when I drink more, I wake up and then I lay there for an hour and a half, 2 hours, can't go back to sleep. And I always thought it was because I had that stressful day. But maybe it's from the alcohol. Maybe that's why, and it's horrible because I lay there and I don't sleep and it's just miserable.
Yeah. And then you're thinking about waking up and being tired the next day.
Right.
Then you're caught in that cycle again.
And then you're thinking about sleeping. And one time I thought I had forgotten how to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
For real.
All right. So sleep is, really important to you. And maybe that could be a
good motivation.
A motivator.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it for sure is.
Okay. So now that we've established, how important it is for you to kind of make this change, on a scale of 0 to 10, how confident are you that you could make that change?
I don't know. I've been doing this a long time. So, maybe 7 or 8. I feel like if I really have to, I can do it. I want to, but I don't want to. Right? Because on the one hand, I think the sleep is super important. I'm worried about my health. But on the other hand, it is kind of the only thing I do to relax or to unwind. Mm-hmm. So I got to find something else. Yeah. And that's not super easy. So, but I think I could do it if I know that I really have to. Yeah, I can.
Well, and I think
maybe an 8.
Okay, I think it's so interesting because you were like, ooh, I don't know. And you got really tense when you were like, maybe a 7 or 8, which is objectively a really high number. Which, you seem like it's
because I think I can. I just don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to have to.
Yes. Yeah. So maybe
I don't want this to be an issue.
Yeah. If you're taking away something that brings you relaxation and comfort and is a coping mechanism, if you don't put anything back in its place, it's going to feel really big and really hard because you are still feeling the same amount of stress, and now you're doing nothing to bring
Right.
it down at the end of the
I have to
day.
find something else.
Well, that is something that, you know, could be a future goal kind of as we're working through that. If you're finding that hole or that space it's leaving is really, really big, we, you know, could kind of collaborate on something
That would be
to
good.
fill. Yeah.
That would be helpful. Yes.
Okay. And so then with that in mind then, the last question on a scale of 0 to 10 would be, how committed are you to actually making this change right now? Like going home and starting today?
Like a 9 or a 10.
Okay.
Because I mean, I really do think it's important for life and health.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely. That's a really high number.
Yeah.
I mean, motivation is the single most important part of making change. So to already have a number that high is really
Well,
great.
and on nights when I know that I'm not going to drink for some reason, I don't. So it's not, like, I know I can do it. It's not, I don't love it, but I know I can do it.
Okay. All right. So it sounds to me, you know, we talked overarchingly about what your current pattern is, which is 6 nights a week, anywhere between kind of 1 to 4 drinks after and during dinner, depending on your stress levels. So that's kind of baseline right now. And I think where we landed, and you can correct me if you know you want to make any changes to this, is for kind of our starting goal, maybe cutting that down to 3 nights a week and capping it at, did we say 2 drinks?
Yeah, 2.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be 2.
Okay, 2 drinks, 3 nights a week. That's kind of our starting goal. And based on kind of our conversation about, you know, readiness, it sounds like you're really confident and you're really committed to this change.
Yeah, I think I am. Yeah.
Okay. And then kind of as we're doing it, you know, we may check back in. We may check back in on that sleep thing, see if that is something that kind of helps. And, you know, you may notice if your sleep improves that is a good motivator to keep the progress going. We may also want to check back in and see if you are feeling that space, that hole kind of where that used to be a coping technique, and looking at what might fill that might be kind of, you know, a good next step for you. I was kind of wondering as we were ending, kind of starting tonight. So like first step, what are you going to do to kind of make this happen?
I think I'm going to try to find something else to drink. So not change the ritual, but change the content, right? Because I think that's going to be the first baby step.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So maybe on the way home, you go to the store and pick up a fun drink that you like that doesn't have alcohol in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that might be a good way to start.
Yeah. I think that's a really good first step. I think, honestly, everything we talked about today, you did a really great job of being insightful and, you know, committing to that change. Thank you so much for, you know, being so open with me and open to change as well.
Yeah, thank you. This was very helpful.
Cool.